going through all of these things and you survived through the struggle, you've had these storms in your life, but you've made it through, and you know that it was going to be hard, but you continued to fight, and you maintained your faith through this whole time. Now that you've survived through all of this, now you come to the next ingredient. And this is a sweet one. It's called the victory. This is when you get the opportunity to cross that finish line. This is when you have that chance to say, I did it. This is when you can look at all those naysayers who told you that your ideas, your dreams, your goals, your visions would never work. You can tell them, I did it. People told me this would never work for me. People told me, Kris, who would ever listen to you? Why would they ever listen to you? I mean, you were born and raised in the inner city. What would you possibly have to talk about? I never thought in a million years that one day I would be in front of hundreds and thousands of people telling the story and delivering key principles that I've used to achieve my success. You see, the easiest thing I've ever done in my entire life is to get up in front of a room like this. Easiest thing I've ever done is to get up in front of a group of people, tell my story, and share principles. The hardest thing that I've ever done in my entire life was to believe that I could do it. The hardest thing I've ever done was to believe that one day someone would bring me in and say, Kris, we want you to present and tell your story. I never thought it would ever happen for me. And because of that, I enjoy a victory beyond what I ever imagined. And I've had a lot of successes. I mean, I can say I've had financial rewards, I've had great vacations, but there's one success for me that stands above them all. And it was one that I was able to share with my wife. And I wish she was here because she always gets all teary-eyed and stuff when I tell this part of my message. But I remember when we were dating, she was going to Grand Valley State University. And at that time, she was studying Japanese. And her dream was to always one day travel the world and go to Japan. And she's always been fascinated with the culture and the people and how they do things and all this stuff. And for me, I mean, this Japan, I mean, I'm from New York City. I would never go a place like that. I've never even been to Chicago, for that matter. So I can't even think down that level yet. But I never forgot that that's where she wanted to go. And eventually we dated a few years, and then we ended up getting married. And I remembered that she told me she wanted to go there, but at that time she couldn't afford it because of student loans and classes and work and so on. So I said, okay, I told myself, one day I want to make that dream happen for her. And I remember going out to dinner with her one night, and we were sitting there, we were talking. Are you married? Okay, pay attention. We were sitting there talking, and I gave her a few sweet words and said some nice things and told her I love her. And I said, well, check this out. And I slid a piece of paper across the table to her. She said, well, what is it? I said, just open it. And when she opened it, it was an itinerary to Tokyo, Japan. 5-star hotel for 7 days, 6 nights, right in the heart of the city of Tokyo. And the first thing she did, she screams out, oh my God, I'm going to Tokyo! In the middle of this restaurant, everybody's looking. I'm like, calm down. And so we went to Tokyo a few months later for our wedding anniversary. And we spent 7 great days and 6 wonderful nights there. And during this time, we did anything that she wanted to do. That was the hard part. So we did anything that she wanted to do. We went anywhere she wanted to go. We tried exotic foods from grilled eel to octopus. That's what I said. Octopus spaghetti and dried squid. I mean, you name it. I mean, there's all types of exotic meals. And she's the adventurous type, so I just kind of sat back and watched, and then we would leave and go to McDonald's. That was a part of my plan while I was there. That was like 3 days while I was there. So, but this is what she enjoyed, and of course she shopped until she couldn't shop anymore. And yes, this vacation cost me thousands of dollars to do it, but for me it was a victory because one, I was able to make my wife's dream come true. That was the biggest thing. The second thing was to keep in mind where I come from and what statistics say about African American men. I am not supposed to be able to do this. I'm not supposed to be able to travel the world and do all these amazing things. So for her, this was a vacation. For me, again, it was literally a life-changing experience. To be able to say that I've been to Tokyo, Japan, I've been to Dominican Republic, I've traveled the country, I've been to all these wonderful places. But to be able to make that dream come true for her is hands down my number one victory. It was a deposit into my marriage is how I look at it. And so for me, that's my victory. So you have to think about, what is your victory going to be like? Who's going to be there to help you celebrate that victory when you get there? That's what you have to think about. And for me, That was the thought that I had for months, thinking, okay, here's what this is going to look like. Here's where we're going to stay. And every day I would go online and I would look at different hotels in Tokyo and what there was to do, just to keep reminding myself of what that victory would be and what it would look like and how it would feel when we finally got there.